It's a really well worked team goal by Manchester United there, and really clever play from Aoife Mannion.
Aoife Mannion, who's got time and space to deliver, and what a cross it is, and what a header! What a delivery from Mannion.
Aoife, I understand that you have a message you'd like to tell the fans.
Yeah, I obviously wanted to do a video because this is my last season at the club, and as I'm sitting here right now over in Portugal, it's a Friday. This is actually my last day with everyone at the club. I'd not really thought actually about how I was going to start it off, so other than to say I'm leaving after 4 years, that's probably a good place to start.
4 years, how are you feeling?
It's been such a whirlwind. I don't really know where to start actually, other than to say it's been a total roller coaster, like so many highs and also so many personal lows with some of my injuries. And really, as I'm sat here, I've been lucky enough to know for a little while that I've been leaving, and as players you don't always get to know that you're going to be leaving, and so these probably past like few weeks, few months, I've managed to kind of like come to terms and come to peace with the fact that I know that obviously the last few games were definitely going to be my last games, and that's sort of given me this added like intensity of when I've been on the pitch just giving everything, and so I feel really grateful actually that I've had that opportunity to do that. And now as I'm sat here and it's sort of all coming to the end, I'm like, oh, I don't know how I feel.
I want to take you back to when you first joined. Could you ever dream of everything that you achieved at the club?
I remember when I joined the club, I think that the team had finished 4th the year previous, and I think in one of my first ever video interviews when I was signing, I'd said something like, oh, I'd love for the club to take a step forward, to be part of the club taking a step forward in the league and in the cups. And to kind of look back now, and at every moment through seasons you just don't really notice the difference, or you don't necessarily notice the improvement in the league or competitions. But to look back now and to think that we managed to qualify for Champions League twice, and then to sort of just, obviously get into 3 FA Cup finals, managed to win it once. If you'd said that to me right at the start, I would just have bit your hand off, and that's what players dream of when you join a club, that you're going to be part of the club and the team going on a bit of a journey and trying to win things, trying to do better. And so I feel really, really lucky that I've managed to be part of the team doing that.
Can you remember much about your debut? So that was against Reading at Leigh Sports Village.
I remember it was a night game. I remember we won 2-0. I don't remember loads about the game other than just feeling so excited and so nervous in the run up to it. And me, my brother and my sister have a picture that's my mum's screensaver to this day on her phone after the game, where they're wearing bucket hats that I'd got for them. I remember that year we had a really cool blue away kit, I think it was. I don't know if it's the away or the third, and they did the bucket hat that matched that. So Michael and Anya are next to me wearing the bucket hat in the picture. So when I think of that game, I just think of us 3 stood together taking the picture after the game.
Let's talk about the bucket hats quickly, because that's obviously your thing, and loads of fans started wearing bucket hats. Are you quite proud of that?
I think I had a bucket hat in my signing picture 4 years ago, and then I asked when I obviously joined, like, do you have bucket hats and can I get one? And they weren't as commonplace as I thought they would be. Like, I thought there would just be loads to pick from. And so over the years there's been like 1 or 2 each year. And when we won the FA Cup last year, as I was coming down from getting my medal, somebody gave me their bucket hat, and then I ended up wearing it like all evening, all night. And so it's like a bit of personality. I got quite squinty eyes, so I actually like being out and about on holiday in a bucket hat. And then it just kind of became a bit of a thing, and the girls kind of say, oh, you wear bucket hats, and I kind of like it really.
Well, like you said, you've had some highs and you've had some lows, including your second ACL injury. How important were your teammates during that time?
The girls were just massively important. It was a nightmare really. Doing my ACL for the second time was just like it's the stuff of your nightmares. It's what you dread to do, and kind of to do it once and have like dragged myself to the finish line of the rehab and to come back was one thing, and then to go and do it again was just such a sucker punch. It was such a sucker punch. Got really lucky with my rehab for that one, and I kind of felt like I flew back in terms of my confidence. I felt really good when I came back, but I couldn't have asked for a nicer group of girls to sort of support me. And I remember when I did it, Alessia Russo at the time, to this day, when I was clearing out my house a few days ago, and I found what she gave me. She'd like given me a note in a letter and like a little anchor bracelet, and that just sort of sums up a lot of the girls and like what they're like. In little moments like that, you don't think that you're going to need to lean on people, but obviously you do. And so when I think about my lows at the club, I think about like my second ACL injury, and then really before that, when I came to the club, I'd obviously started every game, and when you have long injuries, sometimes your position in the team can just end up changing and like evolving. And so when I came back from that injury, I then had a few more injuries and never really found in some ways that same consistency of form and playing time. So that was an adjustment as well. And I would say the one constant through it all is just the players and the staff. Like, everyone has been so lovely, so supportive. And as I'm sitting here now, if you said to me, right, here's an opportunity to do your time again, and you wouldn't do your knee for the second time, or you wouldn't have had any injuries, I don't think I'd change it. I don't know, actually. But I don't think I'd change it. And the only reason that I would say that is just the experiences that I've had with the team.
You were massively important in securing Champions League football with a player of the match against Arsenal. What can you remember about that?
I remember holding on at the end. That was a real highlight. I think it was my first 90 after the knee. We played really well in the first half, and I think we'd got our goals. Felt really confident. Like I said, I kind of felt like I'd come back quite confidently from the injury. But it was getting towards the end of the season, I think, at that point. And yeah, we did really well in that game, and then I got the player of the match afterwards, which as a defender you just don't really expect. So that was just like a really nice personal moment.
What are your favourite moments?
Winning the FA Cup, so being on the pitch against Spurs, where we were 4-0 up at that time, and barring like something that I've never personally seen in my career, I knew in the last few minutes that oh goodness, probably we're going to win here, and it was just the maddest feeling. In terms of intensity, that semi-final against Chelsea, when we won, I think it was 2-1. And then other than that, it's so strange the things that you end up remembering, like these little moments that don't seemingly have anything to do with anything. I remember being on the plane going to PSG at the start of my third season when we were in the Champions League qualifiers, and I remember just thinking wow, this is what we've always wanted to do, on the way to Paris on the plane, and there was just such a lovely vibe, and I remember just being so happy. So little moments like that with the girls, that's what I think I'm going to remember.
A bit more recently as well, you did score in the FA Cup.
Yeah, I scored against, I think it was Wolves. There was a lovely atmosphere at the stadium, and I've been playing I came into United more as a centre back, and then after my injuries I've ended up playing more right back, and the way that we've been playing, the fullbacks have to be quite aggressive and basically just run a lot. And so I found myself in really advanced positions in a way that I just wouldn't have thought a few years ago. And probably one thing that I've learned over the past few years and throughout my career is just the importance of trying to adapt. And so if you told me when I was playing my first game against Reading 4 years ago, look, in the not too distant future, you're going to potentially having to be one that is trying to put crosses into the box and get assists,
down the wing.
trying to make overlaps. Obviously, it's scoring on that one occasion. I don't know if I would have believed you. And it just goes to show like the level of adaptability that probably all players have, if only you like are in the certain circumstances. And in a way that in itself has been a bit of a highlight. I think when I think about the teams that I've been at, you don't always get the opportunity to change and be different within the same team. And so to kind of have had the chance to like challenge yourself, that's been really nice.
And finally, what message do you have for the fans?
Oh, just thank you, really. It's been. I didn't think I was gonna cry. It's just been so emotional, and I think that United, we have just the best fans. Without a doubt, we have the best fans, the most loud, the most intense, the most passionate, literally the most, in a way that I just don't think any other teams have, like, any other players and teams have been lucky enough to like have and experience. And so I think when I look back, when my time's done, I'll see it as such a stroke of luck that I managed to feel it.
Well, Aoife, thank you so much and good luck with whatever you do next.
Thank you.